What's up, guys? Welcome back. Hassan Broadcasting coming back to you guys again here today with race 3 of this new series. Super excited, if I haven't said that yet, to get this series going. And, man, it's going. It's here. Again, super excited. Race 3. I believe we're at Las Vegas. And with that being said, gotta come in here, get the drivers decided on, the part-time guys on who's going to race. We'll take Brennan Poole out. We'll put in... typically I like to do this before I go live, but obviously I didn't. We'll go with Riley Herbst. We'll go down to 51 car. Oh. Cody Ware made the first 2 races. We'll take him out. We'll put Cole Custer in. That might be all the changes we make for now. Here we are, Las Vegas. You guys can see the standings. Of course, I'm posting the standings we're going to go by. Real life standings. This is obviously 2002. 2 races in, Kyle Larson has 335 points. That's obviously not realistic. 2 races in, and last has 61 points. Like, that's just not realistic. But some notables, some guys that are off to a horrible start. Obviously, Chase Briscoe, who's 40th in points after 2 races. McDowell, Dillon, Tyler Reddick. I mean, you can see 2 DNFs there for Chase Briscoe. Most laps led after 2 races goes to Denny Hamlin. Dominated. Denny Hamlin, Ross Chastain dominated Rockingham. Caution came out in the middle of a pit cycle. And Bubba Wallace came through, taking the win late. Kyle Busch couldn't get by him. You guys can see Kyle Busch in this standings is 6th. Bubba down in 14th. Bubba's in the playoffs. We're doing the real life standings. So Bubba and Larson, they are in the playoffs. Of course, Larson won Daytona. Going to Las Vegas. Sim practice. Let's see who is quick in practice. Tyler Reddick needs a good run at the top of the board early in practice. You guys can see it's an hour plus long. Larson to the top. Martin Truex. Denny Hamlin. We know how quick he is. Elliott in 6th. Been a quiet start to the year for Chase Elliott, but he is top 10 in points. So he's been quiet, but he's been consistent. You look further down the list. Logano down in 16th. Look down here. Who's really struggling? Ty Dillon, of course. Harrison Burton not off to a great start. Corey LaJoy. Preece. Michael McDowell. If he hasn't made the highlight reel, I don't know what highlight reel you'd be watching for this series. Michael McDowell. 2 races into the season, and he flipped both weeks. He flipped at Daytona, wildly. Kind of looked like the Ryan Preece crash in real life. And then he flipped again the next week on lap 2 at Rockingham. So, if we don't see him flip... Now, I promise you, cars don't flip every race. It's just not realistic, and that's just not even... I know this game. It's not really the way the game works. It just so happened that he flipped the first 2 weeks of the season. It was insane, but we're going to qualify. We're going to sim qualifying. Kyle Larson, 2nd pole of the year. He won the pole at Daytona. He won the race. Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex, Byron Chastain. Look further down the list. Of course, last week's winner, Bubba Wallace, in 14th. Look further down the list. Corey LaJoy, not very fast in practice. Qualifies 25th. Stuart Haas, really struggling. 29th, 30th. 33rd. And then they got Harvick in 11th. Struggling there is the Stuart Haas cars, all 3 of the 4. Ryan Preece really struggling there. But without further ado, let's get through warm-up. Gonna start this race. Harvick really showing out for Stuart Haas. Obviously the only competitive Stuart Haas car. See if that doesn't change in the coming weeks. But Harvick rounding out the top 10, now 11th in practice or in warm up, not on the 12th, but his teammates 28th, 30th. I assume Briscoe's outside the top 30, so not good for those guys, obviously. Coming to the end of warm-up, Denny Hamlin on top, William Byron, Kyle Larson, Tyler Reddick, Chase Elliott. Top 5. Time for the race. Rolling off the grid. Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin will lead you to green here at the first mile and a half in this season. You got Truex, Byron, Chastain. We'll see if Hamlin and Chastain can't continue what they did a week ago. You know, the back half of the field, Cole Custer. Cole Custer, he's a guy to watch out for because he's going to be looking for a full-time Cup Series ride, of course, in the coming seasons. He had one, obviously lost it, doing part-time for Rick Ware, obviously down in the Xfinity Series and the 00 for Stuart Haas. Really all to say about Cole Custer, but Kyle Larson's second pole of the year. Last time he got the pole, he won the race. But we saw the 11 and the 1 car dominate last week. They drove off from the rest of the field, and neither of them finished on the lead lap simply because they both got top 10s, but the whole field was a lap down because of the pit cycle. Caution came out middle of the pit cycle. Doesn't happen super often in real life, but it did happen here. Coming to the line. There we go. Third race of the season. It's underway. Green flag. Kyle Larson taking the lead early. Martin Truex, Ross Chastain, Hamlin falling back to the 4th spot. Byron falling back to the 5th. There you guys can see Kyle Busch right there as well. Elliott, Buescher, Harvick, Logano. Looks like Logano and Harvick are the first Fords. Kyle Busch absolutely missed the corner right there. Fell back a little bit. Right to 5th. 6th. Looks like he's battling for 7th now with Kevin Harvick. Only 3 races into the season, obviously. This is the 3rd race into the season, but of course, 26 regular season races. Then the playoffs will start. The final 10. Of course, we're gonna keep track of the standings, and I'll post them after each race. So after this one's posted, the standings will be out. I'm not sure what's after Las Vegas. I don't know track-wise, so we'll be a nice surprise to see what's next, but hopefully nothing too crazy. Obviously Daytona and then Rockingham was nuts, so need a couple realistic races to kind of get things in order and really see who's going to be fast and who's not. You know, we see Kyle Busch riding in the 10th spot. Byron qualified top 4, back to 11th. Looks like he's going to get passed for 12th now by, who is that? Tyler Reddick. Reddick needs a good run. 34th in points for that team. Let's go to Michael McDowell. See if he can't go 3 for 3 and maybe flip yet again. If he's really racing for 20th, that means Corey LaJoie's inside the top 20. So Corey LaJoie right ahead of McDowell. We saw him not in practice, but qualified decent, and he's only moved forward. You see him ahead of like the 48 of Alex Bowman. A couple other guys. Yeah, McDowell's 21st, so Corey LaJoie 20th, Cindric 19th. Cindric wrecking with the 31 of Justin Haley last week on lap 2. Ultimately, the wreck that sent McDowell through the air again, but looks like Alex Bowman trying to make a move on Michael McDowell. Gregson up to 24th, Almirola 25th, Allmendinger, Gilliland, Keselowski. So that's an interesting one. Brad Keselowski racing 28th right now. Obviously wrecked out at Daytona. Not sure where he finished last week, but Brad Keselowski running in the back end of the 20s, close to 30th, and we know that car is quite a bit faster than that, so we'll see if Keselowski can't improve any. He did get a spot from Todd Gilliland there for 27th, but yeah, Briscoe in 34th, racing McDowell and Cole Custer behind Ty Dillon. You see Eric Jones struggling. There's Riley Herbst in the 15, the third driver to drive that 15 in 3 races, and there's a lot more to come. But Kyle Larson, Martin Truex Jr. trying to be the 2 to check out. Ross and Denny right there, and then Chase Elliott trying not to let him get away. Martin Truex Jr. looking for the lead. Slides a little bit into the corner. Larson going to defend him on the outside line. Truex is not going to get there. Here comes Chastain. Imagine Hamlin's probably right behind Ross. A little bit of a ways back, and then you can barely see the 9 car in the picture there riding in 5th. So it's 2 Hendrick cars in the top 5, 2 Gibbs, and a Trackhouse. No Fords. The first Ford, Blaney in 7th. Or no, Harvick in 6th. Kevin Harvick is 6th. But 11 laps into this 54-lap race, it is looking smooth so far, but you know, Rockingham started off a little chippy. We'll see if this one doesn't change. You see Keselowski, he is driving his way through the field. He is up to 25th, but that's still not where you would expect to see him run. Where did he qualify? He qualified 16th, so he must have had an issue. Maybe he started on the outside, something crazy, because he fell back pretty quickly, making his way back through the field up to 25th. You can see 10-plus seconds back now. Ty Dillon, Cole Custer, McLeod, Briscoe. Almost Briscoe. Briscoe's off to a horrible start this season, but it's kind of like real life almost, because there were several races where he did run outside the top 30 in real life, and Riley Herbst inside the top 30 in Rick Ware equipment. Both Legacy Motor Club cars outside the top 30. A Stuart Haas car, obviously a Rick Ware car, a Spire, and obviously Live Fast, but the other Spire car, LaJoy, is 19th. Interesting, but be something to watch for sure. Stenhouse Jr., of course, almost did what he did in real life, leading on the last lap at Daytona before getting passed by Kyle Larson. Had a horrible race last week. He did rebound, but I don't think it was for a very good finish. I just know it was better than 35th, which is where he was running at the time that I said that. But 13th, pretty good for Stenhouse and JTG equipment so far in this race, ahead of 2 Gibbs cars and both 2311 cars. Bell, Gibbs, Reddick, and Wallace. So right behind Suarez. Chris Buescher's been pretty hot to start this season. 11th right now. We'll see if Buescher can't obviously keep that up. Truex looking again on Kyle Larson. Denny Hamlin has got by the 1 of Chastain. Elliott is still lurking. He's a second back, but he's got 2 seconds on Blaney. So I guess he's kind of got the draft. He's kind of there. He's kind of there. He's kind of not there. We'll see. He did gain a 10th that lap, but we'll see. Kyle Larson, his teammate, out front. Martin Truex, Denny Hamlin. Looks like they're trying to leave the 1 car of Ross Chastain. We are 15 laps into this 54-lap race. Having a sense of normalcy for the first time. Obviously Daytona was crazy. Daytona was normal until it wasn't, which is typical Daytona. See another 10th there gained by the 9 car, so coming quick is the 9 car. But the top 5 obviously have drove away. They've got almost 4 seconds on 6th of Kyle Busch. And that one keeps swapping. It was Harvick. He's dropped to 10th. See Busch. It was Blaney. It was Byron. Byron was inside the top 5 to start the race and fell back. Now Hamlin looking for second on Truex. Denny Hamlin coming, and Chastain's there as well. I always like to look at the lap times because then you'll know exactly when lap traffic will start. So 31-second lap times, 15 seconds back. So about halfway there. So about another 17 laps or so, we'll probably start seeing lap traffic. About the time we'll probably start seeing pit stops. And we've got a race for second. The 9 car has now joined it. Now it looks like for third. Truex was second, falling to 5th. The 1 and the 9 trying to get by him. Elliott going to send it in under. Chastain has to lift. Elliott not going to be able to get by the 19. Hamlin has his sights set on the 5. 19 almost into the back of the 1 right there. Gonna get underneath him off the corner. The 1 to the back bumper of the 11. 11 gonna drop down, and now the 1's gonna get passed by the 19 and the 9. The 9 just can't get clear on corner exit. He just can't do it. And then he can't get clear into turn 3. It looks like he will get clear into turn 3. Up in front of the 1 car. Chastain is dropped to 5th. Larson trying to drive away. Kind of did a little bit. Every race we go to seems to be a couple cars manage to break away from the rest of the field. You can see William Byron all the way, who's 6th, all the way to 11th of Buescher. They're only like 0.8 apart. Not even a second. Now it looks like it's up to a second. And then you look at 12th of Suarez. Really close with Bell, Reddick, even Stenhouse, Wallace, Gibbs. And then you go about a second, 0.8. Truex looking for second again over Denny Hamlin. Tell you what, Larson's been able to keep front, but everybody else has just been jostling and passing each other for positions for sure. A lot. Between the 19, the 11, the 9, and the 1, just been swapping second, third, fourth, second, third, fourth. But Larson's led the whole way from the pool. Last time he was on the pool, he won the race. Keselowski, you can see, is up to 23rd. Just a notable. Just watching him just because he's quicker than 23rd. We'll see if he can't come through the field. Which he is slowly, but Riley Herbst, again, still inside the top 30. Rick Ware Equipment, both Legacy Motor Club cars outside the top 30 right now. 32nd and 36th. Noah Gragson has fallen to last. And Eric Jones not running well. Obviously, Briscoe's up to 31st. All 3 of the 4 Stewart-Haas cars, man. Almirola 28th, Priest 29th, Briscoe 30th. Gosh. Cindric slacking off of his Penske teammates, both inside the top 10, 7th and 10th. And then you got Cindric in 22nd. Bowman way off of his Hendrick teammates, all inside the top 6. And Bowman's 20th. Corey LaJoy showing out so far, and Truex has gotten to the back bumper of this 5. They might be about to join in on this 5 car with Jocelyn for positions. Passing each other back and forth. Looks like Truex gonna make an attempt. He's just gonna ride behind the 5 car for now. I'm not sure when they have to pit, but it can't be too much longer. 19 seconds back now, so we probably won't see lap traffic for quite a while yet. But I'd be very interested to see what happens here. Bell and Reddick up to 12th and 13th. Truex right on the 5 and the 11 on him. Truex looking for the pass. The 11 almost wanted to try and take him on the outside. Looks like they're starting to leave the 1, and the 9's just hanging right there. Truex all over the 5 on corner entry. Just doesn't get underneath him on corner exit. See what's going on back here with Allmendinger, riding 23rd. A whole pack here. You see Alex Bowman, Austin Dillon, Corey LaJoy, Cindric, Keselowski, Allmendinger, and McDowell all racing it out. Keselowski's looking to pass all of these guys. Try and salvage a good day. LaJoy trying to go by the 3. Going to get clear. The 6 now underneath. Almost clear. Austin Dillon starting to drop a few spots. Bowman driving away from this pack. No caution so far. Both races so far this season have had cautions. Check where everybody's at. 20 seconds back is 30th. Suarez all by himself in 14th. See some cars ahead, but pretty spread apart where Suarez is at. Almost 22 seconds back now is last. So trying to just keep track of lap traffic. We know it'll play a difference. Just ask Ryan Blaney at Daytona, leading and crashed late in the race by an incident that happened ahead of him. Blaney rides 7th with Byron and Busch. And back to the leaders. Truex has taken the lead from Larson. Hamlin, Elliott, Chastain still there. All 5 of them within striking distance. Elliott completely blows that corner. Gonna allow the 1 to get by him. Yeah, this one's been quite the uneventful race, but it's good to have because the last couple races have just been insane. A sense of normalcy and, some legit finishes here in the standings would be nice. But, to say the least. Larson running a little higher in the corner. Denny Hamlin now on him, and Gibbs trying to have their cars 1-2. Martin Truex Jr., Denny Hamlin. Should see pit stops pretty soon. And lap traffic is not too far ahead. It's right along with Truex. See what he sees out of his windshield. Still can't really see any lap traffic. No, not really. Truex putting quite the gap on Hamlin and everybody behind him. Hamlin, Elliott, Chastain, Elliott back by Chastain. Pitting right here, all four of them. You can see Byron, Busch, Blaney, they really weren't that far behind. We see collisions on pit road a lot. At least so far this season we have. It's not too typical that I feel like we see that, but we sure have this season, so definitely got to watch pit road. Trying to find a good view of the entering the pits, but you really can't. So right back along with Truex is everybody, at least in the front of the field, kind of pitted together. Caution is out. You guys can see yellow. Caution is out. Not sure what happened. Probably somebody trying to get on pit road. Anybody with damage? Oh, we got another car upside down. Anybody gonna run into the pace car this time? And we got guys wrecking under caution. Cindric spun Dylan under caution. Not really sure what these guys are doing here. Not sure who that was upside down. Was it Logano? Yeah, I believe it was. Let's see what happened. Caution's out again under pit cycles. Happens that way every time. This is a good view. Watch McDowell end up being in the air again somehow. Okay. Got down pit road, through pit road, no problem. Then coming out of the pits. Just got turned by Reddick coming out of pit road. What in the world? You see Ricky Stenhouse too just free sliding. Probably trying to avoid this incident, honestly. I just lost it going into the corner. Probably trying to avoid the 22. What is Reddick doing? Just spun the 22 coming out of pit road. We can't do pit road with no problems. They came out together and he just spun him. They kind of came together. The one car's in this. Tried to avoid it. I think that's the one. Maybe not. No, Ross is fine. It was another red car. There's a lot of red cars in this. But anybody tracked a lap down? Briscoe and Custer. Oh, man. Briscoe, man. Both of them out of the race. Logano a lap down. Dylan a lap down. Well, we're 3 for 3 for seeing a car get upside down. I believe Michael McDowell is still safe. He's probably questioning a little bit, but I do believe McDowell is safe. But, you know, the top 12 looks kind of untouched. Bowman's up a few spots. Reddick, Allmendinger. Field's not too shuffled. Stenos lost some spots. Stenos was in that, so he's going to have some damage. Same thing with whoever else was in that. Oh, that may have been Briscoe. Both of them done. Yeah, I'm not sure. Reddick probably has a little bit of damage from that, I would imagine. Turning the 22. They just came together coming off of pit road. I don't know. 22 came off of pit road on the inside. 45 came off on the outside. They just came together, and 22 got turned into the wall by Reddick. So not a good start to, or not a, well, I mean, yeah, definitely still the start of the season, race 3. Not the way they wanted to do it, but coming to 13 to go. If the lights go off, we will have 12 laps to go. If the lights go off this time. Truex, Larson, Elliott, Hamlin, Chastain. Those were the 5 that were gone. But then now you got Busch, Blaney, Harvick, Byron, Buescher, Wallace, last week's winner, Gibbs, all right there. We'll see if anybody can't capitalize and find their way in the playoffs. There it is. Austin Dillon going to be a lap car. Probably going to get in somebody's way. I probably should have won with single file restarts. I forgot that it's lap cars and not legit restarts. But regardless, Austin Dillon. Looks like the only car that's going to be up here is Logano going multiple laps down. No, he's out there. Wonder if for the second week in a row. Yep, second week in a row, the 22 is not going to have a hood and come into the front of the field. He finished top 5 last week without a hood, and his car ran pretty good. But, yeah, Chase Briscoe and Cole Custer, I didn't even see them involved in that accident, but both of them obviously out, so. Here we go, Martin Truex Jr., Austin Dillon going to lead you to green. Both Bass Pro Shop cars. One racing for the lead, one a lap down. Green flag's in the air. Not a good start for either of those two, so Larson, Elliott, Hamlin, they're all going to get clear. Truex with a small gap. Oh, Larson misses the corner unless he got punted. I think he missed the corner. Elliott underneath the 5. Here comes the 11. Ross Chastain there as well. Elliott looking to take second, and these same 5 are driving off. Busch is trying to hang with them, but nobody's behind Busch. Elliott going to get clear of Kyle Larson right here. Denny Hamlin going to try. Elliott barely clear. Still going to give Larson some room. Denny Hamlin going to get clear going into this corner. Larson going to fall to 4th. And Busch trying to pass Chastain for 5th and 6th. Truex, on the other hand, trying to get away. Freaking technical difficulties. Elliott to 2nd. Hamlin to 3rd. He's top 4 driving away again. We don't have too many laps to go. Who's going to get the win at Vegas? Lap traffic should not be a factor today. Elliott underneath Truex looking for the race lead. Not gonna get there. Checked up middle of the corner. I don't think he's gonna get underneath him. No, he's not. Truex gonna remain the leader. Looking down through the field, Stenhouse is up to 17th, even with the damage that he had on the back end. Almirola up to 20th. Of course, he had a top 5 at Daytona. Keselowski's still 21st. Just all around not a good day for him. Cindric, pretty much where he's been all day. Looking down through the field further, Herbst, McLeod, top 30s. Two Legacy Motor Club cars are the last two cars, lead lap. With Gregson, well, never mind, Ty Dillon, but Gregson and Jones. Elliott, Truex trying to drive away, leave Hamlin and Larson in the dust. Kyle Busch still there. Chastain still kind of there. 1.7 back. No, he's really not there. Couldn't even see him in that frame. And then everybody else still pretty far back. 2 races into this season. And of course, 23-11 with a win. Hendricks with a win. Truex, Hamlin, Larson, Elliott, they've been the fastest cars virtually literally this entire race. Leading the most laps between the 19 and the 5. The 11 was out front, I think, for a little bit, maybe not. Elliott has not led yet, but he's been in the top 5 the whole time, up to 2nd. Truex continues to lead. They're starting to pull away from Kyle Busch there in the 5th spot. Chastain, he's probably going to end up losing the draft and losing these guys, but some notables further down the list. Bowman is 25th. Herbst is falling off to 32nd. Last car on the lead lap. 3 to go. Who is going to get it done? 4 cars under a blanket. We saw a last lap pass at Daytona. Could we see it again here? As we get to the end of this race. 3 to go. Coming to 2 to go. How aggressive does the 9 or the 11 get? The 5 blows the corner. Could lose these guys now. Probably lost any ground he had or chance at getting the race lead. 2 to go. Who's going to get it done? Martin Truex, Chase Elliott. Hamlin could try and make a pass on Elliott, and Truex will drive away if that happens. Hamlin's on Elliott. Not going to get there. Coming to the white flag. Martin Truex Jr. has led quite a bit of laps today. Between him and Larson for the most led, probably will go to Truex. But will he lead the last one? Elliott on the back bumper of the 19. White flag is in the air through turns 1 and 2 for the final time. A bobble a little bit by the 9. And I don't think he's going to be able to get there by turn 3. As long as the 19 doesn't miss this corner, he should be home free. The 9 going to send it in. Hamlin blows the corner, going to lose 3rd to Larson. And off at turn number 4, Martin Truex Jr. going to win his first race of the season at Las Vegas. Elliott couldn't quite get it. Martin Truex, the first win of the season for Gibbs. First win of the season for Truex. Joey Logano, a lap down. We saw him upside down. Michael McDowell completes his first race not upside down. Austin Dillon a lap down. Chase Briscoe, Cole Custer, DNFs. But at the end, it's Martin Truex Jr., Chase Elliott, Larson, Hamlin. Gotta credit Chastain. Those 5 were gone before the caution. Those 4 managed to get gone again. Chastain still comes home 6th. Kyle Busch gets 5th. And Martin Truex Jr. gets it done. I'm excited to see what's next. Atlanta, that should be fun. Atlanta should be fun. But as you guys can see, this is what the 2002 standings would look like. Of course, it's probably somewhat similar to what the standings will look like when I do them for 2023 playoff standings, of course, but probably similar, at least the regular season standings. But hey, Kyle Larson continues his top 5 streak. He has not finished outside the top 5 yet. And as Chase Briscoe DNF'd in all 3, Chase Briscoe has managed to DNF in all 3 races. 35th in points. Unbelievable. Chase Briscoe off to a bad start. Some notable entries: Corey LaJoie inside the top 20 after 3 races. Eric Almirola, 16th in points. He's going to be somewhere around the cut, so he needs to continue to get good finishes if he wants to point his way into the playoffs. Allmendinger, 11th. Logano still 10th after a bad day. Looks like all 4 Gibbs cars are... 3 of the 4 Gibbs cars are inside the top 10 in points. Bell in 14th. Most laps led. Denny Hamlin obviously dominated Rockingham, so still has the most laps led. Then Larson, then Truex. Of course, Bubba led the end there of Rockingham. But only a handful of guys have actually led laps here. Keselowski up. But Hamlin, Harvick, along with Gibbs, have top 10 top 10 the field to death. Not finishing outside the top 10. Of course, Larson not finishing outside the top 5. 2 pulls for Kyle Larson already. We'll scroll down the standings a little bit, look at what's going on here. Noah Gragson still 21st in points. Haley Reddick up to 23rd. That's big. Of course, this is 2002. I gotta say, it'll look different, a little different, when I do the standings that we're gonna count. Dow up to 31st, I believe. Austin Dillon, Chase Briscoe, of course, still the worst full-time driver in the standings. But yeah, that's what we've got going on so far for standings-wise. So, appreciate you guys for watching. Atlanta next. That should be really fun. I like to keep it a secret, but I got to know what's next. Darlington, Bristol. Bristol will be nuts. Texas. Martinsville will be nuts. Talladega. California. Super excited, guys. Appreciate you guys for watching. Peace out.